Yo, what is up, everyone? How y'all doing? I hope y'all had a great weekend. What's up, Bearded? How's it going? Jillian, what's up? Bull Runner, good to see you. Golden Child, what's up, bro? TF, what's up, man? Cubanadian and Kango, how's it going on? Alright, I haven't really looked at charts this weekend, so let's take a look. Failing to get above the EMAs here. Quick look on our 1 hour. Let's look at our daily. So, let's get our monthly. So we avoided that weekly sell signal that was originally printing. I think it was here. We've come up. We're still riding the deviation band, so nothing to worry about too much here. Slight pullback here. We're underneath the trend ribbon here. Definitely watch to see if we'll get a purple flip here. Look at our 4 hour. So we came down into our 4 hour order block here. Obviously we have like a weekly SFP, right? But we're kind of just in a range. Wow, if you were trying to trade this weekend, it is absolutely boring, huh? We haven't really done anything. Alright. So we did end up losing internal structure on the 4 hour. Let's see if there's another time frame that helps us a little bit more. Okay, so there's some interesting information on the 6 hour here. So we broke, is this internal or external? Okay, so we broke external 6 hour structure here. But we put in a new high on the 6 hour here. SFP'd the low. Okay, so the way that I would treat this week would be bearish until proven bullish. Now we have a very easy way to prove this, because we are in a downtrend now on the 6 hour, right? We rejected from the top of the trend ribbon, the golden pocket here, right? Looks like a perfect golden pocket rejection. The spider line, so it's got to prove to us that it's going to be bullish. Otherwise, we would assume that we're going to come back down to, you know, like the 116 area. It's like the bottom of this. If we change this range here, there, just grab a new one. If we pull our range like this from before, right, it's kind of the previous range there. It's also like the retest of this demand Wyckoff area here. Because after initiating out, we never really got a mitigation test. We got like that initial mitigation, but if we came back here, I would expect a reaction out of this decision block. Now, what would change my mind? So, if we came up and broke 6 hour structure bullishly again, so like if we came to 119.300, if we can close like a 6 hour candle above here, then you would have a nice bullish setup, because then your 6 hour is in aligning again with your weekly and your daily. and we can look to take this out for a breakout. Now, you'd want to use structure to get a little better of a stop loss since it is like only a 2-to-1 there, but that'd be what we are looking at. Oh, we got more people rolling in. What's up, guys? What's up, Julia? Good to see you. On the Poncho, what's up, man? Zaid, what's up? Faker, good to see you. Max, welcome to the stream. Oh, it's all good, Mormer. No worries. Yeah, so that's kind of what I'd be looking for. So I would say guilty until proven innocent on the long side, right? Let's see. Because we did have like a 1 hour death cross here, right? And then we retested it. We're coming down, trying to attack these lows. A little bit of a harmonic here. Let's take a look on our lower time frames. Yeah, we just got a 4 hour red dot on Market Cipher. We've got quite like a momentum desert starting to form here. So if we do come down and take out these lows, like if we don't come up here, we could get a pretty good momentum desert here that could bring us down a little bit. So one thing to keep in mind for all the Market Cipher traders out there, so whenever you see the EMA's gaps really large like this, that move's generally going to fail, right? So like one clue over here, when we came up for this retest, was the EMAs looks like garbage, right? So on the 24 minute and on the 30 minute, they looked like absolute garbage. So generally when they look like that, it is going to lead to at least like a retest of the previous demand area. So I don't like that on the 1 hour. Yeah, I would definitely say guilty until proven innocent. And it's really easy to tell when to flip bullish, right? You get a 6 hour close above here, 6 hours bullish again, you start looking for longs. Until then, just assume that we're going to go lower. So let's take a look at where we could come to. So we know we can come to this demand area here. What confluences do we have there? Let's see. Yeah, so we front ran our golden pocket here. I don't really like that either, right? Because there's going to be a bunch of liquidity in these lows, and then there's going to be a lot of resting orders in the golden pocket. So coming down here would make sense. Have we lost momentum yet? Let's see. Trying to hold on to momentum. I could see us doing something like this, and then maybe going. All right, let's see, where are other levels here? Yeah, so generally we'd be looking for a bounce in here if we're going to remain bullish, right? We do have this decision block here that we can retest, right? We know that inside that decision block there's also a key area that never got mitigated. Yeah, right here. If we were to come down here and like grab all the liquidity in these lows, right? Yeah, I could definitely see us getting a bounce here. We were looking to retest this on the way up as well. We never got the retest, so you want to set an alert. Yeah, trying to come down to grab these lows already. Grabbing this local liquidity. Let's see what the indicators look like. Fresh death cross, retested, broke the lows on our 15-minute. So the thing that we want to watch for, so we're still not like bear market bearish, right? If we're just coming down into like this golden pocket here, or like bigger dump, you know, correct, like bearish. But we need to keep an eye on these lows, because since we broke structure on some of these higher time frames, if we then come down and break these lows, that would be a downtrend on the daily. Yeah, downtrend on the daily, a downtrend on the 12-hour. Downtrend on the 8-hour. Yeah, which our 8-hour low is like way down here. What would that golden pocket be? Oh, look at that. Okay. Wow, I can't believe we missed that before. That's interesting. Okay. You did a trend line. The price hasn't broken completely. Oh. So one thing to keep in mind here. So if we go to the weekly here, and we grab like our weekly trend line, we are battling with this, and it looks like this. Okay, so this week needs to come back above this trend line if it's going to be saved, right? If we're going to go higher. Now, whenever you put this trend line, so this is that weekly trend line, right? So whenever you put this on log scale, it does get a little interesting, right? So that is just something to be aware of, right? It looks like we lost that weekly trend line, came down, rejected it twice as resistance, and now we're bear flagging out. So we really want to see the price get above 119,300 this week, or we could see like a little bit of a weekly correction. Yeah, the other lines are spider lines. So we're playing like red dot, green dot on the weekly on Market Cipher. There's still, so we are technically putting in a bull flag on the weekly, right? Like inside bar consolidation. It's just safer to wait, in my opinion. It's just safer to wait for it to prove itself with all these mixed signals. So those are the levels to be prepared for. If you're not already short from higher, you may want to wait on your hands for a little bit and let price develop here, or just take scalps within the range. So we did SFP that low. Yeah, I would wait for that golden pocket sweep at the lows. That'd be the first like long that I'd be interested in, or that break of 19.3 where the structure was. So the two trades that I see on the long side would be a sweep of 116, a sweep of these lows into 116, or a break above 119,300 and then get in on like a mitigation retest. Those are the two longs I see. On the short side, we already got the EMA retest here. If we look structurally, I think we already got the golden pocket retest. Yeah. On the short side, I would see like this. This retest of this bearish supply block. Grab the liquidity in these highs, come back up to test the 200 again, and you can take a short up here. You'd want to wait for like 5-minute structure though up in here, because technically the strong high on the 1 hour is up here. So wait for like 5-minute structure to form, break that, enter here, and then put your stop above that to protect yourself. Target these lows liquidity. That's what I see on the short side. If we're going to create a new low, like if we're going to pump first and then create a new low, it's going to happen at one of these supply zones. Obviously, so this would be the shorter play, the short term play at like 118, 145. But this would be the higher risk to reward play. Like if you're just looking for a set it, forget it. If you take a short at 119 and then give yourself some SFP space, right? Target the lows. It's like a 3-to-1. If we just sweep the lows and then you can try to ride it to the spider line, it's like a 5-to-1. So those two levels are $118, $150, and then $118, $923. So that's what I see on the short side. On the long side, I see a sweep of these lows into the golden pocket. I see a break of $119, $300, and then I also see the retest of demand down here. The retest of that demand level at $115, $350, and then also the just anywhere in this zone as well, underneath $115, $500. Cool. That's what I see on Bitcoin. You guys have any altcoins you guys want to look at? Go ahead and drop those in the chat. Go through this real quick. Sui? Yeah, let's look at Sui. So Sui came up, rejected off of this bearish daily supply, off these spider lines as well. Getting a momentum clip here. So similar story on some of these altcoins, right? So since we broke structure on the weekly, we wouldn't want to see Sui get back below like 226, but that's still quite a ways away. Just something to keep in mind. Actually, that's yeah, that is an internal. It's internal structure, but still on the daily, that wouldn't be good. Flipped your daily bearish here. Okay, so daily is already under bearish structure on Sui. Actually, no. Not quite on the daily. Let's look at the 12-hour. It is on the 12-hour. So it looks like we broke bearish here on the 12-hour. Was this on the weekend? Oh, okay. So we got a little bit of a rejection off of supply here in our 786 golden pocket zone here. Money's aggressively coming out on the 12-hour. Did we just bearish engulf? Yeah, bearish engulfed on the 12-hour. Yeah, again, these things are guilty until proven innocent, right? So looks like we lost momentum. No, we haven't lost momentum yet. Okay, so that's still on Sui's side here. So when it really gets scary for Sui is when we break this trend line, right? If we can't reclaim it. So right now, this is just a change of character, right? So there's a possibility this was a liquidity grab. If Sui is going to get saved here, I would say the best bet is probably going to be in this box here. So that's like the 3.456 level. Like a fake out break of the trend line reclaim. Let's zoom in a little bit. Yeah, that's the reversal zone on the 4 hour as well. Yeah, I would even give it a little more room. Like I could see it reversing at this decision block as well, like at like 3.5. So somewhere in this zone, I'd be interested in looking for a structure change. So that's my immediate thoughts on Sui. So if we're gonna change that, if we're gonna flip structure bullishly, let's see. 4 hour bearish push break. 4 hour structure breaks bearish here. So your 4 hours still bullish, but with the 12 hour being bearish, it's mixed signals. Let's look at our 1 hour. Alright, so we lose 1 hour structure here. And it's getting aggressively sold off from there. And then we put in a high. Stair step our structure. I don't hate this setup on the 1 hour. But yeah, you're about to get a death cross again over. There's just too many mixed signals here. So we got a nice bounce off the golden pocket. Let's look at smaller time frame structure. Bullish divergence on the 15, but money's aggressively coming out. Strong trigger wave to the downside. Yeah, if you're gonna be playing longs on Sui, I would just wait for like low time frame structure. Currently the 5-minute high is like way up here, so even if you broke this, like your stop loss would have to be down here. It's not really the best risk to reward. So like sweeping into like here, or even better into like the zones that we marked down there, would be better. But if you sweep this low, you don't even put in a high here technically. Yeah, I think Sui needs some more time if you're gonna be thinking about longs. On the short side for Sui, it's in the middle of the range right now. Yeah, I wouldn't really trade Sui right now. I'd let it develop. Let it develop. It's in the middle of the range. I like this area for shorts on Sui. Did we already tap that? We did. Was that after the break? It was after the break. Okay, yeah, I have an area for you guys. If you're going to take a short here on Sui, I would play 30-minute structure. And I'd be looking to short it at like 3.8. Back to the lows. Yeah, it's like a 4 risk reward. Yeah, I would say it's too early to think about longs here on Sui, but if you're going to take a play off the 12-hour bearish structure, the 30-minute bearish structure, you take a retest of the supply zone up here like 3.8, try to take it down to the lows. Would that break momentum? Yeah, that's what I see on Sui. If there was better structure in here, like I could give you a lower time frame play, right? Because I do like that these lows got swept, right? And that we're hitting the golden pocket, that we're in like the 30-minute reversal zone. Like there's things that I like, but these larger time frames are just don't look very good on Sui. So maybe tomorrow. We'll look at it again tomorrow, and if it looks better, I'll probably have longs for you guys, but not right now. Okay, let's look at Ave. So you SFP'd your 4 hour here. SFP'd your 8 hour. Let's get our daily. Oof. We had like a triple top here, 3 drives. So this is your daily internal low. So I would say, oh, did I skip Sol? Nah, Sui, Ave, and then Sol. It just shows differently on my screen. She's got it before you on there. Okay, yeah. So I would say if Ave breaks 290.47, that it's not looking very good for it. Let's see. Yeah, you could be coming back to mitigate this demand here. It's fighting to hold on to momentum here. So let's see. You lose your 1 hour structure here, downtrend. You break it back bullish here. And then you break it bearish here. So under bearish 1 hour market structure, came back up to retest supply here. Break 15-minute bullish here. What's the RR if we break that to come back down? That's not bad. So that's a 4 risk to reward short on Ave. So that would be on the bearish break of these lows. So you want to close below on these lows. If you close below 299.60 on Ave, you can take the short down to 271. Stop loss would go above these local highs. Alternatively, this would be similar to the more local levels here. Alternatively, it's possible that we sweep the weekend high and we get a rejection out of this supply block up here. So this would be just like somewhere to set an alert, right? And basically how you'd set that up is the same way that we just set this up for the 15-minute one down here, right? So you'd want to see, if we do end up sweeping these highs, you want to see some structure in here. Short the break of structure, stop loss up here, same target. And that aligns with the point of control too. Yeah, so I like, and the way you're going to know that, so generally if this breaks, right, if you get the first short, it's unlikely that they're going to roll back up here because you'd be breaking some serious structure, right? But if we don't get this short, or if we SFP this low, then we're probably going to come up to this POC supply block at like 306.68, and that's just a little bit more risk to reward if you wait for that. And then on the long side, I mean, once you get down here, I like longing it back up. Cool. That's what I see on Aave. Sol? Yeah, we can do Sol now, bro. I got you. So we got our bounce off demands. We got our perfect range deviation here. Nice. But this looks to be turning into... This doesn't look like bullish accumulation. Let's see. It could still be, right? I mean, you're making higher highs and higher lows, right? So until this I'm wrong line breaks, right? You're fine. But we just came up and retested prior supply. Got a structure breakout of prior supply. Retested new supply. Breaking again out of that SFP. Yeah, so let's see where we could come down to. So I like this. I still like this area down here. So what does our indications look like? So yeah, we hit that. So if you don't SFP this on the hour and you close below, you even have hourly structure in here. Yeah, I like the same kind of short deal on here. Into previous demand. Yeah. Oh, yeah, Cuban, you're just looking for a spot at 175. Yeah, I like it. Revisiting all the revisiting this little accumulation area here. I like an SFP of this. So the reason I like an SFP of this is because notice how all of these wicks are higher. So we didn't pull that liquidity ever. So there's going to be a lot of stop losses below here. So I like hold on one second. Yeah, so I like an SFP of this level. If you're talking about like a leverage trade for you guys, I like a long on the SFP of 173. And then on a break of 189 on the 1 hour, I like this short down. You can also wait for momentum to break. Let's look at a 4 hour. 4 hours still bullish structure, but this would hold bullish structure to come down here. And there's like a 4 hour order block here. Yeah, we might not sweep all the way. Yeah, I think this area though, bro. Yeah, I think you're spot on with trying to pick it up in this area. Because if we're gonna hold this bullish golden cross, like this would be underneath the 200. This would be at the reversal zone. This would be at an order block. And if you're doing spot, like you can give yourself a little room with your stop, right? But just understand that this is a good area to look to trade, and you want an SFP, not a break of these lows. Because a break of these lows would break 4 hour market structure. Cool. All right. Let's see. Q&T. Okay. Okay. inside bar, bearish consolidation. You lost your 6-hour structure here. So you break bearish on the 6-hour with the loss of these. Then you come back up. Looks like a 0.5. Oh, a 382. Okay. 382 rejection. All right, let's zoom out. Let's get a bigger picture of this. So, is this area mitigated? Let's see. No. So if we pull those lows. So the first area of interest to me for longs is to grab all the liquidity in these like 4 lows, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. To pull this area and finally mitigate this untested demand. So I'd look for like a 15-minute structure break coming out of this area to try to retarget the highs. Because you are still in daily bullish structure. And the other area of interest I like is going to be a retest of this accumulation area here. So that's where I would set my alerts on QNT. It'd be like 93 bucks and 102 bucks. What would change my mind and make me think that this could be bullish? Well, at this point, you broke. So you break 4 hour here. You break bullish. Break 4. So at this point, you gotta break here, right? So an SFP of these lows, which can come all the way down into here, right? Or you got to get me bullish again. You gotta come back above 118. You gotta close some candles above 118 here. Otherwise, I think yeah, you're coming down to 102. Let's see what indicators look like on this. Yeah, money's aggressively coming out. We had the same gap to our size up here, right? Comes down. Right, these are like alligator jaws, right? So they like open big and then they slam shut, right? Okay. Yeah, on the short side here, we're pretty close to like active areas of demand. So you could play like local shorts, but the big shorts were like up here, or like a retest into. Yeah, we already mitigated everything. Yeah, I think it's you're not gonna find really the RR to take a short here. If you pull these lows, I mean, you could put a stop here and write it down, but it's gonna be a little risky since you have a lot in your face, right? Because you could bounce from an SFP of this liquidity. I would just be looking for these bigger areas of interest around like 93, 93, and 102.09 for a bounce, right? And taking profit along the way. That's what I do on QNT. FLR. All right. Oh, this looks. Let me zoom out first. Doesn't look. Lower high after the lower high. So you SFP'd your weekly, came back up to the golden pocket, rejected off the golden pocket. Let's zoom in. Broke your daily. Let's look at 4 hour. Still haven't lost 4 hour. Okay. Use your 1 hour here. Get it back. Bullish here. Come up. Break bearish here. Run it down. Reclaim bullish. Yeah, SFP the high here. Yeah, this doesn't look. I mean, we could see it come up and sweep these highs again into the golden pocket. Um, this doesn't look as bad as some of the other things we looked at. Let's see if we have any plays on this. So we got a 0.5 bounce here. Likely we'll see a mitigation of this. At least. I think 2556. So where are we interested down here? Interested here. Ooh, this has kind of all been mitigated on the way up. There's just not much liquidity. Like, these wicks are gnarly. Yeah, we're getting a sell signal on the 4. Oh yeah, look at that 4-hour SFP. I mean, I think you're gonna find support where you found support before. So if we like, did we already pull this low? Double bottom here. Yeah, there's liquidity in this double bottom. And this is like at the 786 too. Like in between the 786 and the 886. Yeah, I would be interested in like taking longs from this area. Trying to rotate back to maybe mitigate this. But I can give you when I would like be bullish internally. So we're under bearish 5-minute structure. If you can like sweep these lows into the golden pocket and bounce up and break structure, you may be able to take a long up to here. It'd be better though to make like a slow grind down there, right? Maybe break this, make another high right here, break this, and then flip bullish there. You'll get a way better risk to reward on a long up to here. I would definitely take profit on any longs here. And then the real areas of interest that I'd be interested in is down here between 2418, 2327, and then an SFP of this low into like maybe into demand here and pop back up. It's hard to this has really crazy wicks, so it's just like ranging in a area, but that's what I see on it. Arrow? Yeah, we can look at arrow. Rolling over a bit. Inward curved on the daily, not bad. Putting in some bear dips on the 12-hour. Let's see. the golden pocket. No, not quite. Yeah, I mean, arrow looks okay. But if we look at from here, I mean, it'd be really nice to grab arrow down here again. I don't know if that will happen. What is that? Like at $1? Let's look at 4 hour. Did we pull this high? We did. Okay, so we pulled that high. So if arrow breaks this low now, you'd be under bearish 4 hour market structure. We've got areas of interest below us. We got this 4 hour order block here. Yeah, so the two areas that I find really attractive on arrow is like $1.10 and $1. To convince me that we're going to go higher, we would need to break this new high here, which would give us 1 hour. One hour's down here. Let's see. Yeah, we pull our 15-minute here. So that means yeah, so if you can break your 15 back bullish here, we tapped our order block. Yeah, money's coming out. We've got bear divs in the highs. Yeah, if you're gonna get bullish in here, you gotta start closing below 144.74, or you gotta form some more structure at the lows here. So like if we get another green candle here, and like come down to the 0.5 and break it, something like that. But really, the levels that I would watch on arrow is like 110 and $1, unless we start breaking out of this range. But you can scalp the range, of course. But those are the major levels in it that I see. All right, we'll do ADA, near, and SEI, and then we'll call it. Ooh, breaking out of daily down momentum. I like that. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, good call. Let's look at ADA. A weekly breakout. You want to see it hold. Retest of the highs. Be a good place to look. 93.73. Man, those spider lines, man. Yeah, that's also a spider line retest. 93 cents. Yeah, as long as that would also be your 1 hour 200 EMA. Yeah, so if you come, I want to see it come back down, retest, and hold this trend line. Then I think it starts to look really good. If you come down here and you put in like some 15-minute structure, and then you break it, I think a rotation at least to the highs back to the spider line, and then you could leave a runner on that one. You just you want to be careful. Watch for a fake out of this trend line. If Ada's really gonna go, which the daily, look at this, daily money flow ramping up. Yeah, I think Ada, out of everything we've looked at, if it can hold this breakout of this trend line, I think it looks the best. Might even fake out, touch this order block, come back up. But yeah, that's what I would do. I would just go on your weekly. I would take a ray. I would draw your downtrend line. Like, look at how clean that breakout looks on the weekly. Do we have yeah, with volume confirmation too, man. Holding the VWAP from the previous week. Yeah, that would also be coming down to last week's VWAP as well. Yeah, I think if you see ADA create some actionable structure down here at like 90 cents area, it could be good for rotation back to the highs and maybe higher. But just be careful. Like if the rest of the market's going to dump, ADA will likely dump as well. But we'll see. All right. Man, Near has seen better days. So it is coiling up on the daily between the 50 and the 200. Before I'd get too bullish on Near, I'd want to see it hold this 50 as support, reclaim the 200, and get the daily golden cross. Let's zoom in. 4-hour divergence at the highs, 4-hour trigger wave printed. Ugly on the 1 hour. Let's look at structure. Got some internal 4-hour bear structure here. Break your 1 hour bearish here. Still under bearish 1 hour structure as well. So on the short side, I see supply here. It's only a 2-to-1. Even if you take it down to here, it's not the best. Let's see if we can zoom in. The best RR on the short side would be a retest of this supply, the top supply. It's like a 5. Yeah, or you could look at that 1 hour supply and you could just use structure to make it better, right? So if you come up in here and you lose like 5-minute structure, right? Then you can try to take a short, and then you could have better risk to reward back to these lows. Probably sweep the liquidity in here. Because we've already mitigated this. And we're coming down pretty aggressively after losing momentum. Yeah, Near's got work to do. I'd watch your daily on Near. See if you can durably get above the 200 EMA on the daily, then I'm not as convinced that we're probably coming for this order block here. That would be my views on Near. Cool. All right, let's do SEI. like a bullish megaphone or like a ascending megaphone pattern here. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, it's under this daily golden cross. It is towards the higher part of the range here. Yeah, I don't think SEI looks awful. If we come down into this demand here, I would look for some structure to form in here, like your 786 area, or at this uptrend momentum here. If you lose your momentum here, and yeah, I mean, these are the two areas of interest that I see. I see this order block here, and then I see this demand zone here. Let's see if that lines up with some bigger areas here. The two closest areas of interest, there's quite a lot. So that's good, right? The fact that there's a lot of unmitigated areas, so like another one's here, that means that if we see a correction in the market, right, SEI is going to find support on the way down, right? Like you're going to find support here, 32.64. You're going to find support at 30.31-ish, and then you're going to find support at this order block, or sorry, and this area at like 30 cents. Yeah, so I'd be looking at these key areas, and I would be watching for structure. I wouldn't really be interested in shorting SEI until you get, like, unless you got in at this supply retest, right? On like probably 15 minutes, 15-minute break. Maybe 5-minute. Yeah, unless you got in on like this retest here. Right, if you shorted, this would have been the short on SEI. Looking to come back down here. Or like this would be your last target. Yeah, that would be the short on SEI. But if you're not, yeah, this looks bad. Yeah, wait for these key areas. Wait for some structure to form. This looks dumpy, right? So 32.60, 31, and 29.55. Those are going to be your first stops. Alternatively, if the market flips around, you break structure here, you try to take a long like that. But definitely don't front run any structure on SEI, right? Wait for structure to tell you to get long, because it's got quite a ways down before it reaches these unmitigated areas. But this looks better than like a lot of the coins we've looked at, right? And the reason for that, you guys know, is because of the unmitigated structure on the way down. All right, guys. Well, thanks for bearing with me on this Sunday. I'm a little tired, so hope y'all still got some value out of this. As always, join the free learning Discord pinned to the top of the chat. My name is Market Cipher. Much love. Trade safe, guys. I'm out.